They didn't just disappear, they were erased. 3 people, 3 nights, 3 endings that never came. These are the disappearances you don't hear about, but you won't be able to forget. Disappearance. It's such a simple word for something so horrifying. One moment, someone exists. They breathe, they speak, they text you, they make plans for tomorrow. And in the next, they are gone. No blood, no wreckage, no sign of life or death, just emptiness. When someone dies, there's at least something, a cause, a body, a finality. But when someone vanishes, there's nothing. And that's what makes disappearances one of the most unsettling phenomena we face. You can't move on because you don't know what happened. You can't grieve because there's no proof they're gone. You can't hope because hope itself becomes a torture device. For the families of the missing, life becomes a permanent question mark. They wake up each day asking, are they out there? Are they alive? Are they cold, scared, hungry? Did someone hurt them? Did they choose to leave us? And no one, not the police, not the experts, not the media, can answer them. But here's the thing about disappearances. Most of the ones you hear about, the ones that make documentaries and top podcasts, have some kind of evidence. Witnesses, suspects, a crime scene. These 3, they have nothing. They didn't just vanish. They stepped off the edge of reality. A man who ran barefoot out of an airport into the fields of Bulgaria and was never seen again. A teenager who spent 47 minutes on the phone with his parents while calmly walking towards safety before his voice was cut off mid-sentence. A young woman who crashed her car on a quiet road, refused help from a bus driver, and walked off into the freezing night. No suspects, no leads, no conclusions, just unfinished stories. And maybe that's why they haunt us. Because they remind us of something we try very hard to forget. It could happen to anyone. Disappearances don't discriminate. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't choose only those living dangerous lives. They can happen in the middle of a vacation. They can happen on the drive home from a party. They can happen on an ordinary Monday night. These 3 cases aren't the most famous. They aren't the most sensational. But they're the kind that stick in your mind. Because they don't feel like stories of other people. They feel like stories of us. So tonight, we're opening 3 doors. Behind each one is a person who walked out of frame. Behind each one is a family still waiting for answers. And behind each one is a story that will make you question just how safe your world really is. Now, let's start with a man named Lars Mittank. A man who boarded a plane for a summer vacation and ended up running for his life barefoot through an airport field, leaving everything behind. And no one has seen him since. The beginning of Lars Mittank's nightmare, July 2014. Varna, Bulgaria. The air was heavy with salt from the Black Sea. Music thumped from beach bars. Tourists laughed, clinking cheap beers. For 28-year-old Lars Mittank, this was the escape he needed. He was an ordinary guy, worked at a power plant in Wilhelmshaven, Germany, a Werder Bremen football fan. Friends said he was easygoing, the type of person who could make anyone laugh. This trip? Just 5 friends soaking up the sun, partying, watching football, living the kind of days you wish you could freeze in time. Until one night, a night that still doesn't make sense, everything changed. They were at a bar. A football match played in the background. A group of Bulgarian men started talking trash about his team. It escalated, and Lars, normally not one for fights, ended up in the middle of it, pushing, yelling. A fist connected with his head. By the end, Lars had a ruptured eardrum. He brushed it off at first, but the next day, pain throbbed through his head like a warning bell. A local doctor took one look and shook his head. You can't fly right now. It's dangerous. Stay a few days. Rest. Let it heal. So Lars' friends, all of them, flew back home. And Lars, he stayed behind. Alone. That's when his trip stopped being a vacation and started being a nightmare. The final days of Lars Mittank. In the days that followed, Lars changed. He called his mother, his voice a low, trembling whisper. They're after me. I don't know who. When she asked who they were, he couldn't explain. Or wouldn't. He begged her to cancel his credit cards. That night, Lars left his hotel without explanation. He checked into a cheaper inn near the airport, arriving after midnight. The staff there would later describe him as paranoid. He was nervous, one employee recalled. Always pacing, looking out the windows, asking if anyone had followed him. Something, or someone, had terrified him. Then came July 8th. the day Lars was supposed to fly home. He went to the airport doctor for a follow-up. Security footage shows him calmly walking into the office. But minutes later, without warning, he bursts out of the door. Shoes still in the office. Luggage, untouched. Phone, wallet, passport, left behind. Lars runs into the void. The footage is jarring. Lars sprints through the terminal, past confused travelers, past security, out of the airport entirely. He climbs a fence and runs into the open fields beyond. No one chased him. No one followed. And yet he ran like his life depended on it. His backpack was found at the airport. Inside, his phone, his passport, his clothes. The things you'd never leave if you were planning to run away. But Lars left them anyway. For days, search teams scoured the surrounding fields and forests. Drones scanned the coastline. Nothing. No body. No clothes. No trace. What was Lars running from? Was it psychosis? A mental break brought on by trauma, paranoia, or medication? Was it drugs? Or was he right? Was someone after him? And if so, did they catch him? The internet has called the video of his escape the most disturbing disappearance footage ever recorded. Not because of what you see, but because of what you don't. The Road to Nowhere. Brandon Swanson, May 14, 2008. Minnesota. The spring semester had just ended. Brandon Swanson, 19, was ready to celebrate. He went to a party in Lind, a small town surrounded by miles of empty farmland. It wasn't wild, just friends, music, drinks. Around midnight, Brandon said his goodbyes and drove home. It was a 30-mile drive, but he never made it. At 1:30 a.m., Brandon's car veered off a gravel road into a shallow ditch. He wasn't hurt, so he did what anyone would do. He called his parents. "Hey, I'm near Lind. Can you come get me?" They jumped in their car and drove out. The night was still. No passing cars. No houses. Just darkness and distant farm lights. Brandon stayed on the phone with them, describing what he saw. "I can see the lights of a small town. I'll walk toward them. You meet me there." For 47 minutes, Brandon stayed on the line with his parents. They drove around, flashing headlights, honking, but they couldn't find him. Brandon sounded calm. "I'll be fine. I'm walking toward the town." Then suddenly, oh, SHD. The call went dead. His phone stayed on for hours, pinging cell towers. But Brandon was gone. The next day, police found his car. Search teams flooded the area. They brought in dogs, helicopters, ATVs. They scoured fields, rivers, drainage ditches. No footprints. No clothes. No body. Some believe Brandon fell into the nearby Yellow Medicine River. But that doesn't explain why the search dogs lost his scent on a gravel road. Others suggest someone found him before anyone else could. Here's the part that haunts his parents. Brandon thought he was walking toward safety. Instead, he walked into the unknown. February 9, 2004. Maura Murray, 21, was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts. That afternoon, she emailed her professors. "I need a week off for a family emergency." There was no family emergency. That night, she emptied her bank account, withdrew $280, bought alcohol, packed her car with clothes and toiletries, and drove north, toward the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Why? No one knows. Hours later, on a dark rural road, her car crashed into a snowbank. A bus driver stopped to help. Maura refused. "I already called AAA," she said. She hadn't. Minutes later, police arrived. Maura's car was there, but she was gone. No footprints in the snow. No signs of a struggle. It's as if she stepped out of her car and disappeared into the night. 3 lives, 3 questions, 3 people. Lars, terrified and running barefoot into nothing. Brandon, calmly walking toward help until something stopped him. Maura, lying about emergencies, leaving everything behind, vanishing in the cold. What connects them? Fear? A plan? Or something far darker than we can comprehend? Theories swirl. Lars, a psychotic break. Or was someone hunting him? Brandon, an accidental drowning? Or a meeting with the wrong person at the wrong time? Maura, a staged disappearance? Or a victim of someone lurking on that lonely road? Each theory only deepens the unease, because none of them answer the one question we can't stop asking. Where are they? The unfinished stories. What makes these stories so haunting isn't just the mystery. It's the incompleteness. These aren't just cold cases. They're open wounds. Because someone, somewhere, knows the truth. And maybe that someone is still out there. Which story haunts you the most? This was day 17.